Welcome to my garden. Today's project will be to build a trellis that will hold the watermelon and the pumpkins. It will be a triangle trellis that's mobile. You see, I've already built several other ones, and I will show you how to do these in another video. Here are the materials I will be using for this trellis. Now obviously you can source the wood for free even, but I find it easier to go with something from the store that is low in price. Maybe not perfect, as you see there's a bowl in the wood, but I found that these specific boards work really well. They're 2x3x8s. I will be cutting them a little bit shorter. I measured based on my height. If I held them in an angle, can I still walk under them? So they will be 7 feet long. They were $6.98 at the Home Depot. The other items, excuse the neighbors, the other items are the railings that are normally used for the railings for ramps. The measurement of these is about 4 feet long. They were each $1.88 at Lowe's. I also picked up these brace hinges. They're 3-inch, which is perfect for the boards that I bought, and they already come with the hardware. The reason why I like these pieces of wood so much is because the edges are already cut, so that saves me a huge step and will make for a very smooth edge at the end of the trellis. In addition, I'll obviously be using my drill to pre-drill holes, make it easier for the screws to drive in, my screwdriver. Here are the screws I will be using. Their exterior 2x9 and 3x9. I'll see which one would match best. I don't want to have them poke out, obviously, at the end after screwing them in, and my protective glasses. Lastly, and I'm sure you have better saws, I'm using a saw to cut the boards. The wood is cut. Now, one thing I want to say, obviously do not show your children how I cut that wood. It's not safe. And once I get a nicer saw, I will be doing it in a safer way. What I did now is I took half of the spindles, laid them out evenly. If you want to change the measurements, even just slightly, you can save a decent amount of money. Obviously, if you go with a 8-foot tall trellis, you're already saving yourself about $14, $15 just on the beams themselves right here. You would only have to buy 2 instead of 4. And then you would save yourself a decent amount on those right there, just based on the height. You can also buy these pre-finished. They're simple railings that you buy for ramps. They run you about $70 per railing. I would have had to buy 2 of them in order to complete this project, and I thought that would be a little bit too much of an investment. What I will do now is pre-drill holes and then screw in the wood. So all these holes are pre-drilled. I will be using the exterior screws 2x9. A simple way to test which ones I went with is by holding the screw up to the board, see how far it would go into the second board, and if that is giving it enough stability, then that's the screw to go with. Obviously, you can also do the math. I'm more hands-on. The one thing I wanted to add is these boards can obviously already be cut for you at Lowe's or the Home Depot, but because these are pressure treated, the stores won't touch them. In Florida, because of the humidity, I found that going with anything else but pressure treated will break very, very fast. So in order for your investment to last at least a few seasons, I personally have to go with pressure treated, even though of course there's considerations that would go into it with regards to chemicals, but I don't think a trellis is necessarily going to leach too many chemicals into the vegetables and fruit. Right, the first trellis panel is completed. As you see, I already started on the second. I pre-drilled the holes, lined everything up in accordance to match the first one. I'm not that fancy. I honestly want you to see how easy this can be, that people with basically no skills as it comes to woodwork can complete this little project. I'm going to drill these in, and then the next step will be to install the hardware. It is starting to rain, but there's only one step left to do, and that is to screw in the hardware. As you see, I have lined up the two pieces of the trellis against each other, and now all I need to do is screw in the hardware in the same way as it shows on the description. So the hardware is attached. Certainly, here are some lessons that I learned. Use maybe a little bit better wood. Obviously, saving $2 on a 2x3 by 4. No, 2x3 by 8. You can go with a 2x4 instead. It will serve you better because, as you see, you have a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to your hardware. I did decide to use the outdoor decking screws. I just wanted to give it an extra bit of security because it's kind of, because of the bow in the wood, and because it's obviously not perfectly 3 inches wide, it's not a perfect fit. Let's see what it looks like once it's clapped together and installed. So yeah, as you see, this will definitely not win the perfect woodworker award, mainly because the main beams were not straight. They had big bows in them. But you know what? It will work for the garden. It will hold up heavy fruit like watermelon. And that was the whole purpose of this little project. Overall, it took me 1 hour, exactly the length of my lunch break. And that was with taking a short break because of the rain, and to have something to drink and to film. And here's the finished product. It is quite heavy. It was definitely hard to bring over here and carry over here and install by myself. As you can see, with my stretched out arm, I can reach to the top How wide you want it is up to you. But I think the plants will be way happier now that they can start growing off the ground where they are more susceptible to soil-borne fungi or pests. So in all, this was a good learning experience. I hope for those of you watching as well. I will show you more DIY for your garden space coming up soon.